today. From U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's the NFC Wild Card Round on EA Sports. We'll see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings taking on Daniel Jones and the New York Giants.
It seems like only yesterday we were here for Super Bowl 52 and now back for the road to the Super Bowl here in the Twin Cities at U.S. Bank Stadium. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the New York Giants and the Minnesota Vikings. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
Taken at the 15, a short kick. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The former number 6 overall pick of 2019, Daniel Jones, trots out to lead this New York Giants offense.
Let's face it, it doesn't matter if you're a rookie free agent or a 15-year vet. Guiding a team to victory on the road in the playoffs, that's no small feat. And it's going to be really important for him to play mistake-free football. But equally important, create some big plays as well to give his team confidence that they can win.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Jones looking to throw right away. Over the middle, caught by Bellinger. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. But, Charles, as we've covered, they've already clinched their spot in the postseason, so now they just want to avoid adding any additional names to this list before the postseason begins.
Terrific observation, because trying to move up a spot, I don't know if it's worth it if you're trying to play guys who aren't quite right. Get them healthy, get ready for the playoffs, make your move then.
His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw on target to James. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing, Jones. Got his man complete over the middle. It's James. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs. It gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up. Now Jones. Over the middle, and
It's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jones. And that one complete to Hodgins. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Looking to throw. Jones. Out route pass complete to Bellinger. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
2nd and 1 from the 2. A handoff to Barkley on the option. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
It's up about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal. This from 32 yards away. Gano's kick is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. Not the touchdown they wanted, but hey, you're on the road in the playoffs. They did get 3 on the board.
Yeah, it's a good opening drive, so you feel good about it yourself. You get to the sidelines. The defense feels good about you helping them right out of the gate. The team, yeah, they feel pretty good about coming in the playoffs and getting points on the board right away.
And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Minnesota's offense and QB Kirk Cousins set to go here.
And he comes into these playoffs bringing a team that's been battle-tested, won the division, and earned the home playoff game here in round 1. But every year they know that a division champ that feels like gets beat. They don't want to be that team. They have to avoid the overconfidence and make sure they play the same way they played during the regular season, mistake-free and with passion.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Cousins now from the 50. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. To throw, Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Now 1st and 10 at the 11. Again, it's Cousins. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass, and the Vikings have taken the lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Kevin O'Connell choosing to lead his guys out there. They'll go for 2. Cousins will try and throw. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. So they go with the pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Tries, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They just did manage to sneak into the playoffs as a 6th seed, so it's a tough road ahead. They know that. They would need to win 3 games on the road in January. But, hey, here's the bottom line. There's 18 other teams that wouldn't mind being in this spot right about now.
Yeah, and you had to stick it to them, didn't you? Those 18 who are sitting at home right now. But you're exactly right about that. Your point about how daunting this is well taken because it all depends on their mindset at this point. How do they break it down so they're not looking at this whole big road and saying to themselves, we've got no shot. You got to break it down to this game right now. Win this one, then worry about the rest of them after this.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Zadarius Smith from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw, and that will be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And this returnable for Rager. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on second down. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. A nice grab there for a guy coming off a terrific season, one that saw him have over 100 catches.
And when you have that many catches, that means you're a full part of the offense. And let's face it, he's been as good as anyone in the NFL this year. So it figures he's going to play a big role in whether his team can advance in the playoffs.
Play action now. Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. A big play there for Minnesota. 54 yards. Cousins on first down. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. T.J. Hawkinson from 21 yards away. And they're able to add on to their advantage. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Kevin O'Connell choosing to lead his guys out there, and they'll go for two. They'll look to throw. Complete at the 1. Well, split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with 2 PATs. They got the two-point conversion the first time. They failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14 points.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. The New York set to take the field. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. This complete to the former Longhorn Marcus Johnson. First down now, but that clock rolling. Operating from the gun. Jones. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught. Touchdown, Giants. Marcus Johnson, 54 yards. And the Giants are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Kene Nwagu now out of his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Cousins in step with Jefferson that time. First down, Vikings. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Throw caught there by Osborne. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Cousins again. This one caught. It's the tight end, Hockenson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. This, the second of our triple header here on Wildcard Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's NFC wildcard game. And it's the San Francisco 49ers who are moving on to the next round as they were able to eliminate the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, nothing settled in our wild card game. It's a tight one as we get ready for the third quarter. Standing by to take you the rest of the way, let's get it back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game. That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up fourth. Running for it, here's Cook. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. Now Jones throwing to start the drive. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip some.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Zadarius Smith able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Well, when you time those screen passes perfectly, they can work perfectly, but that time it took a little too long to develop.
And you zeroed in on exactly what makes that play go. Timing. Because if the timing's off at all, those unblocked defenders coming at the quarterback, they'll put him on the deck.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Jones throwing on 3rd and long. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Zadarius Smith, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good, and the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because you know after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Now they're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they wanted to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on 4th down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for the first time this year. And how about this, a fake? And this is caught, and the gamble pays off. They get the 1st. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a 1st down. And I don't know what the method is to know when to dial up a fake punt, when not to. Whatever the method there, it worked for him.
I think you actually did explain it. There is no method. It's just a feel, a sense, and a healthy dose of guts in order to call that play in that situation.
Element of surprise, I guess, right?
Yeah, element of surprise and just a strong belief that, hey, we're going to get it done.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. A third quarter now, to 1-point game as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Cousins. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 25-yard line. Off the play fake, Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. T.J. Hockenson with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. CD, you know, anytime they get close to the red zone, he is such a threat, and there he is again already, his 2nd touchdown of the ball game.
And I know it's probably a little bit of a failing on my part, but you know I watch a game through defensive eyes, and I don't understand what the coverage was doing there. When he headed out deep, they should have adjusted and flowed towards him. Instead, they left him out there and gave him a chance to make a big play. And, of course, he did exactly that. His size, speed, and versatility makes him a top target in any game.
So they try to make it a 2-score game with a conversion. It pays off.
And they've looked at the situation and figured it out well. A 2-score game in this situation, they've got to feel much better about where they are.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now out come the Giants. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. From the 38, Jones. James has got it, complete. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Here's Jones on 1st and 10. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down and 6. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Back to throw again. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, time, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defense's side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly, and what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this game away.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Got an open man finding Jefferson. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That catch moves him over 100 yards now for this wild card game. And a first down as well. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Cousins to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
4th down, Cousins. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here. And this Giants defense able to come up with a goal line stand. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's James. And they work this out past the 25. 23 yards, the final tally. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Jones. He'll find Hodgins there, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Jones signaling, let's go, trying to get his guys up to the line. Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. To throw is Jones. And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. It could have been his 2nd, but instead it's 4th down. Desperation time now. Here's Jones. And now he'll fire deep downfield for James. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Richie James, 49 yards. And the Giants have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Gano now to add the extra point. AT good. It would draw him closer, but hold on just a second. A flag is down on the field. Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. They'll get this to about the 38. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Again, it's Cook. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. And the Giants will go with 6 defensive backs here on 3rd. 3rd down. Here's a run by Cook. That's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. It's a gain of 15, and that ought to just about put an end to this one.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. It happened in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Well, 1 win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start because they get to move on. Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.